Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, February 4th. Can't hardly believe that we're already into the second month in 2016. I appreciate, as always, you joining in to our weekly PPACA webinars. Again, these, if you're new to the format, these were started really as a way that we can meet weekly to go over any pertinent information, any changes, any struggles, all of that to help you be better and us be better as well. We've been running them for quite some time. They are also to be treated as an open forum where you can ask your questions, and if I don't know them, I'll circle back around with you and get you the answer. And you can ask questions in a couple of ways. You can either raise your hand icon on the control panel on the right-hand side of your screen, or you can type in a question in the question box, and we'll read it at the end and go from there. So just with a quick show of hands, if you could, just let me know if you see my screen. I don't see any hands. Oh, there we go. All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. All right, so right into the agenda. First and foremost, open enrollment is over. It ended on Sunday. Katrina and Judy were here working diligently to help get those last-minute applications over. And now we start with the special election period. Highmark terminations, the ones that were terminated 12/31 of 15, they still have 60 days to make a decision if they've not already done so. So technically up until the end of February for those Highmark terminated folks, not the ones that were auto-mapped to another plan, but the ones that had a terminated plan, they can make application with proof of that termination letter and submit that up until 2/29. And all carriers are going to be requiring proof, and we'll get details on that as they come in. I know Capital is planning on asking for proof, but at this point they've not created the form or identified the information that is going to be requested as proof. So at this point you can still do Capital on or off exchange, of course, without proof of that qualifying event. Just be mindful that it's going to change and probably change rather quickly, so you'll have to make sure that if you do have a qualifying event that you're at least starting to ask for that proof. And it may be a moot point, really, because if you bump down, we'll skip the 1095s, but if you bump down to who's paying commissions during the special election periods and what does this mean to me, well, we have 3 carriers in Pennsylvania now that are paying commissions during open enrollment. And the one in Central PA is Capital Blue Cross. UPMC is paying in Western PA, and Independence Blue Cross is also paying for special election periods. That's it. Everybody else is not paying. So we'll bump back up here to 1095As. They are coming out from the marketplace. I've been hearing about errors, so keep me informed if you see a trend, but I'm sure that there are errors left and right, and unfortunately they have to work with the marketplace to get those 1095s corrected. Carriers are also sending out 1095s, and then employers will also have to send out 1095s for the self-insured folks. So again, your clients may get these 1095s from multiple sources. We've been told that they just bring them along when they file their taxes, but they're not used in the tax process. You don't have to send a copy. That's what I've been told. But it was highly advised that you advise your clients and yourselves to hang on to them as proof for any future audits that may happen. So at that point, or at this point, that's kind of all I have on the 1095. There's additional information. If you have questions, certainly reach out to me. So also, I guess I should finish this bullet point, and I apologize for jumping all over this morning. Lack of sleep, or maybe too much caffeine, or a combo of both, possibly. But what does this mean to me as far as who's not paying commissions? We're going to be getting a list of how you can submit your business directly to the carrier if you choose to do that, you know, for Highmark, et cetera. So we'll be getting a list out so that if you choose to do business pro bono, that you can do that. Next on the list, we're very happy to announce some of our group offerings that we're rolling out. Some of you probably received the email yesterday, and we're just going to keep adding to our offerings. But I wanted to just draw your attention to it first of all, because I'm really proud of the tools that we're offering now. We've always had a robust group health department. But there are some tools that our agent partners have been asking for, and I'm happy to say that we've done it. So here's a list of some of them, and I'll not go through all of them, just the important ones, but obviously top commissions, the HR 360 newsletters, compliance documents, and more. This is a huge tool that you would have access to, and here it is. You would have access to this to gather information on employee benefits, such as you know, benefits notice calendar, healthcare reform, what that means to you, the checklist that we offered last week, human resources. I mean, it's just filled with tons and tons of information. So as a group health producer for URL, you would have access to this. Also, Benefits Connect, number 4. That is URL's private marketplace. And what this really does is it does several things. It kind of houses some of the documents for the employer groups, but it also allows for online enrollment and a shopping experience that not only can they choose their health plan, but they can add on ancillary and supplemental coverages, the employee benefits portion of, you know, the group health segment, so that, you know, you're actually increasing your sales, and each employee that would have to enroll would have to either accept or waive off that coverage, but every single person it's going to be 100% exposure of the program. So again, that's a tool that we brought on. We just purchased, we purchased the Form Fire, which is a group quoting portal. Again, there's access to that as well. You know, some of these things do have a cost, but it's available for you. We are bringing on an HR attorney for any of those elevated, sort of complicated questions. Again, that was something that we've been asked about. Offboarding services to capture employees coming off of a group plan. Definitely something that we're going to be offering if you choose to do your group business with us, and many, many more. Quarterly roundtable discussions to promote sales ideas. I think that's an awesome benefit because, you know, it helps us all. So again, just if you haven't seen the flyer, let me know. I'll forward it to you. But we're really happy to roll them out, and really excited to help you in your group health programs. There was a topic in NAHU's newsletter and their letter to the insurers about the errors and omissions coverage, and how during SEP, when these carriers are not paying compensation, that if a fee is not, if a fee or money doesn't change hands, that it's not really a service. I did talk to our E&O vendor yesterday, and you know, it does have that it's covered for a fee. You know, so if there's no fee changing hands, then certainly language-wise that might leave us vulnerable. But what they said is that it's not something that they ever pursue. Part of a claim is never has money changed hands, that sort of issue. But nevertheless, they are looking to revise that language, or take that for a fee out, or, you know, revise it so that it encapsulates the under 65 market, so that there is protection. I'm going to have more information on that, but if you're not covered under URL's E&O, I would advise you to contact your errors and omissions carrier and ask the question about whether you're covered or not for these SEP cases that you're not paid commission on. Definitely something you want to pursue. And again, I will let you know as soon as we have information back from our vendor. And that pretty much is it. That brings us up to the open forum. So you can either raise your hand and I can unmute you, or you can type in a question. Right now, I'll just go to the questions. Well, Steve, I can't even read that question out loud, but the answer to it is I have no idea. Dave asks, if a client doesn't have a copy of the Highmark letter, can they get a copy from Highmark? They can, Dave, but it's like pulling teeth. So if your client is looking to get coverage and you know that there's some still outstanding, I would encourage them to contact Highmark ASAP and get that letter. Scott said, when will I start to see my individual cases transition to the clients written in 2016? Scott, typically the commissions run a month behind. With the delayed billing and the delayed payments, I expect a lot of the 1/1 cases not to be paid until March, but I'd say a good majority should be paid this month. When we get this month's commission statement, it should reflect quite a bit of the 1/1s. So either this month or next. Dave says, can you speak about the URL strategies to help you grow your business and protect your clients? February 16th, 2016. That's a webinar, I believe, Dave, and pardon me, I don't know what that is, what webinar that is. We can go to our webinar or seminar. We can go to a home page and see if we can figure it out. I can also circle back around with you, and since I can't seem to get here, yeah, I'll circle back around with you, Dave, and find out what that's all about. And let's see. Abby says, because we will not be receiving commissions for most carriers for SEP, are we allowed to charge a consulting fee to the client? And that's a great question, Abby. I'm glad you asked it. According to the PID, no. And we won't be charging a fee. It's one of those gray areas. You can't charge a fee according to the PID for doing the services of an agent and taking an application. If there's another sort of service that you're performing and it's well advertised and your clients are aware of it up front and you're charging a fee for other services, then that seems to be acceptable, but we are not going to even, go down that road. And I would advise you to maybe check with your corporate attorneys before you do that. That's just my advice. Treat says, Highmark gives the letter to the client more quickly if they call and request it directly. Thanks, Treat. So that's a good bit of information. And Dave says it's a seminar with lunch, and I'll find out again, Dave, about that seminar because it's not mine. And Britt says he wants more details about Gemini, and thanks for asking, Britt. Gemini is also a flyer that we sent out, and you've been seeing a lot of the Gemini Partners program that we've introduced since January. And essentially what it is it's a program to award agents that place all of their business with URL. It's a true URL agent partnership, and because you're choosing to do all of the business that you write with URL, we're rewarding you with higher compensation. The Gemini guarantee is that we will match any compensation that you're currently getting, and also there are bonuses specifically to the Gemini partners. For instance, there's a Gemini group bonus, and again, it's only available for Gemini partners, but it's currently at $25,000, and Gemini partners that write group health with us, a portion of the profits will be put into this pool, and based on the submission of business throughout the year or quarterly even, you're going to get a portion of that bonus paid to you if you're a Gemini partner. And if you're interested, reach out to me. I can get you the application because it is a process that we have to go through for approval. But if your application is in and you are ultimately approved, then any incentives, bonuses, etc., or business submitted starts from that date of the Gemini application. So the sooner the better, of course. Kelly says, I think you previously mentioned an issue with Aetna members receiving a letter that said they could auto-enroll, but that wasn't correct. They need to take action. Am I just imagining this, or did this really happen? You know what, Kelly? I'm not aware of that, about auto-enrolling with Aetna. You know, maybe we can chat about it, or if you have anything on it. I can also do some digging, but I'm not aware of anything like that either. So that's pretty much it. That brings us up to the end of the questions. And again, I'll circle back with you, Dave, about the 16th webinar, and I'll talk about it on next week's webinar so that if anyone has an interest or it's something that would suit your business model, that you can also attend. And again, it's always on our website. I just couldn't get to it very easily for some reason. That brings us up again to the end, and I thank you so much for joining in. Next webinar is Thursday, February 11th, and I look forward to talking with you again at that point. And again, if you have any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And thank you for your business. Have a great weekend and enjoy the sun, at least. Bye-bye.